Colonel Hardy and his team surmised was a Soviet-era submarine was actually something much more exotic. An isotope analysis of the surrounding ice bores suggests that an object had been trapped in the glacier for over 18,000 years. As for my rescuer, he disappeared during the object's departure. A background check revealed that his work history and identity had been falsified. The questions raised by my rescuer's existence are frightening to contemplate, but I also know what I saw. And I've arrived at the inescapable conclusion that the object and its occupant did not originate on Earth.
I can't print this, Lois. You might have hallucinated half of it.
What about the civilian contractors who corroborated my story?
The Pentagon is denying that there was a ship.
Of course they are. That's what they're supposed to do. It's the Pentagon. Perry, come on, it's me we're talking about. I'm a Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter.
Then act like it.
Print it or I walk.
You can't. You're under contract. I'm not running a story about aliens walking among us. Never gonna happen.
That's a Scotch straight up for the lady.
I'm sending you the original article. My editor won't print it, but if it happened to leak online...
Got it. But didn't you once describe my site as a creeping cancer of falsehoods?
I stand by my words, Woodburn, but I want this story out there.
Why?
Because I want my mystery man to know I know the truth. How do you find someone who has spent a lifetime covering his tracks? You start with the urban legends that have sprung up in his wake. All of the friends of a friend who claim to have seen him. For some, he was a guardian angel. For others, a cipher, a ghost who never quite fit in.
Well, I was saying we were kind of coming up towards the oil rig.
As you work your way back in time, the stories begin to form a pattern.
Looking for Pete Ross. Do you know him?
Yeah, he works at the IHOP. You go down the road.
Pete Ross? I'd like to talk to you about an accident that occurred when you were younger. A school bus that went into the river.
Dusty!
Mrs. Kent? I'm Lois Lane. I'm from the Daily Planet.
What?
I'm from the Daily Planet, and I'd like to talk to you about your son. I figured if I turned over enough stones, you'd eventually find me. Where are you from? What are you doing here? Let me tell your story.
What if I don't want my story told?
It's going to come out eventually. Somebody's going to get a photograph or figure out where you live.
Well, then I'll just disappear again.
The only way you could disappear for good is to stop helping people altogether, and I sense that's not an option for you.
My father believed that if the world found out who I really was, they'd reject me out of fear.
All right. You've got our attention. What is it you want?
I would like to speak to Lois Lane.
What makes you think she's here?
Don't play games with me, General. I'll surrender. But only if you guarantee Lois's freedom.
Why are you surrendering to Zod?
I'm surrendering to mankind. There's a difference.
You let them handcuff you?
Wouldn't be much of a surrender if I resisted. And if it makes them feel more secure, then all the better for it.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
Well, here it's an S. How about...
Sir?
Hi, my name is Dr.
Emil Hamilton. I know. I can see your ID tag in your breast pocket.
Along with a half-eaten roll of wintergreen lifesavers.
You can also see the squad of soldiers in the next room, preparing that tranquilizing agent of yours.
You won't need it.
Sir, you can't expect us to not take precautions. You could be carrying some kind of alien pathogen.
Been here for 33 years, Doctor. Haven't infected anyone yet.
That you know of. We have legitimate security concerns. Now, you've revealed your identity in Miss Lane over there. Why won't you do the same with us?
Let's put our cards on the table here, General.
You're scared of me because you can't control me. You don't. And you never will. But that doesn't mean I'm your enemy.
Then who is? Zod?
That's what I'm worried about.
Be that as it may, I've been given orders to hand you over to him.
Do what you have to do, General. Thank you
For what?
for believing in me.
Didn't make much difference in the end.
It did to me. They're coming. You should leave now. Go, Lois.